How y'all doing? That was different. I ain't never seen a man get a whole flower sleeve before. He had an arm full of flowers in different colors going up and down. That was different. You can't even look at that man to be hard, like intimidating, with a bunch of flowers tattooed on him. How you doing? Joshua Graham. Joshua Graham. How you doing, young brother? Joshua Graham is a nice young brother to follow. I asked everybody to follow Joshua Graham and follow Snaggapuss at the same time. Like, that's my boy. Like, I helped him grow his little audience. He's got his audience is getting bigger and bigger. Joshua Graham. Now, why y'all just didn't go in the bathroom and wash your hands? I just wonder. Wow, that was different. I never seen bands with Velcro scraps for a man before. He had no shoestrings. He had Velcro scraps. And they were strapped as tight as he can get them on his feet. And he had a arm sleeve full of tattoos. Wow, that was different. How y'all doing? Push that like button. I only got 20 people watching. Oh, that's two. That's two. Two people watching and 0 likes. Okay. I thought that was 20. I seen a 2-0. I'm like, oh my God, I got 20 people. Okay. You can sleep on me, nigga. There's some things going on in the world right now. Y'all know that? A lot of things in the world going on. They ain't found that damn girl body yet. All enemies. This was 1 hour ago.
Hey there, it's me, your tour guide to all the fun on Bigo Live. I'm here to show you a new place for live streaming, cool creators, and endless entertainment. From DJs to cooking and real-time chats, I've got all you need waiting for you on Bigo Live. Follow me into the app and see why everyone's making the switch. Fun, friends, and everything you love, all in one place. Download Bigo Live now, and let's start the adventure together. Pew pew!
Keep watching if your recent car accident was not your fault, because I've got a way that you can get 3.5 times more compensation after that accident. Here's what usually happens when you get in a car accident that's not your fault. You'll get a payout offer from the insurance company, and it might be a pretty low one. This is where a good lawyer comes in. The insurance company is probably just trying to barely cover the cost of damages, if that. In fact, a study found Secretary of the Homeland Security, and she is dedicated to ensuring that American communities are safe. ICE 2017 partnerships with local agencies like the Florida Highway Patrol here help us fight terrorism on U.S. soil. These partnerships help us target high-level criminal organizations. We can't do this alone. Without the men and women in uniform across our nation, ICE wouldn't be able to do their job. Counterterrorism operations and arrests are part of ICE's national security mission. With that, Trinidad and Tobago is a dangerous foreign terrorist organization that has invaded our soil. TDA has infiltrated the U.S. through the northern border, southern border, in our waterways. Some TDA terrorist rap sheets in their criminal history are extremely extensive. Many of these members are cold-blooded killers, rapists, thieves, drug traffickers, weapons traffickers, and human traffickers. They are accused of the most heinous crimes committed inside our neighborhood communities. They have been running loose in the United States. TDA uses drug trafficking as a weapon against American citizens. TDA has authorized its members to attack and kill U.S. law enforcement officers. Arresting terrorists is dangerous. But what's more dangerous is allowing them to run free in our neighborhoods and terrorize U.S. citizens and our children. We cannot and we will not accept their brutality. This month, to the work of the Department of Homeland Security, President Trump, we have designated TDA a top priority and a top network of criminal activity for our organization. TDA members aren't stupid. They don't wear uniforms like men and women here, or they just announce their stuff like, hey, here I am. They're out there. They're sophisticated. They hide their crimes. But today I'm here to let everyone know that we are more sophisticated. We have more resources than ever to find them and get rid of them from the United States. Since the past 48, on March 15th, the president invoked the Alien Enemies Act, and our officers have risked their lives every day to ensure that we are going after these foreign terrorist networks in our communities. I'm proud to say in the past 48 hours, ICE, along with our local partners and our other fellow federal agencies, have arrested more than 68 TDA gang members, terrorists, in the United States. To date, we've arrested 394 of these terrorists. Our goal is to eradicate TDA from U.S. soil. We will not tolerate their illegal presence or the threat they pose to the American public. What I would ask for the public to do is go and see these terrorist faces on ICE's social media page, whether it be X, Facebook, or Instagram. With that, I'd like to turn it over to the Executive Director of the Florida Highway Patrol.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Director. It's an honor to be here with you today. You have outstanding special agents and officers as part of your ICE agency. It's been an honor to work with them. I'm joined also here by Colonel Gary L. Howes of the Florida Highway Patrol and Assistant Commissioner Lee Massey of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And we could not ask for a better partnership as it works to enforce the directives of President Trump and Governor DeSantis. At Governor DeSantis' direction, the Florida Highway Patrol and all state law enforcement have been fully engaged.
Investing in gold and silver is smart. Buying gold or silver with Alton is simple.
First, though, breaking news at 5. Columbia University yields President Trump in a battle over federal funding. Let's go right to Columbia where we find our Jessica Fragoso with the latest. Jess?
Natasha, and Steve, this is
breaking news as we just received it. Columbia University, like you said, is agreeing to the demands that the federal government has asked for them to do. Now, these are 9 demands, and that includes things like banning face masks. That is, they have agreed to do so. The university agreeing, which means $400 million in federal funding that was cut to Columbia University will be restored.
They are banning face masks.
The end of the day today to say whether or not they would agree with the Trump administration's demands. As you recall, Columbia University received that letter from the federal government at the beginning of the month. From it, it was clear changes needed to be made when it comes to anti-Semitism on campus. The funding cuts come after last spring's pro-Palestinian protest on campus. Now, Columbia University is expected to implement a mask ban. Also, the university has hired 36 special officers who will have the ability to remove individuals from campus and arrest them when appropriate. The university is also appointing a senior vice provost this week. He will be focusing on promoting excellence in regional studies. That includes in their Middle East Studies department. Now, the interim vice president saying, quote, our response to the government agencies outlines the substantive work we've been doing over the last academic year to advance our mission, ensure uninterrupted academic activities, and make every student, faculty, and staff member safe and welcome on our campus.
Oh, I fucked up then, didn't I? Push that like button. Show me some love. Ain't nobody asked the question yet.
The Trump administration making a list of demands on these universities and threatening to withhold
vital funds to the school like he should. What? This is not true.
Straight dropping Cornelius Smith. Went to court. Cornelius Smith said that CMG was involved in this young adult setup. I need everybody to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications, man. This whole young adult indictment is not over with. I want y'all to understand that the judge said that CMG will go down right along with straight dropping Cornelius Smith and Goldman Hernandez. If y'all don't know, CMG they actually planted the hit to take out and kill young dog, Adolph Thornton, man. I want y'all to pay attention to the video that they released on when Dolph got killed at the Nikita's Cookie Shop. That video was staged. That whole entire video was staged, man. You don't see no glass on the floor, man. You don't see no busted windows. If Dolph got hit up in the Nikita's Cookie Shop, why was there no glass inside of the shop, man? Like, y'all have to understand that these were the questions that needs to be asked in court. Cornelius Smith took the stand. He snitched on everybody. He said Big Juke actually was supposed to give him the money to buy out. Big Juke he was supposed to get him $100,000. Cornelius Smith only got $80 out of that deal. And that's why he told. And that's when the judge said, hold on, we got more people involved. It's not just a straight drop Smith and a go band. No, this is some beef. This is beef between both sides, Paper Route and CMG. I want y'all to understand that this is a revolving door situation, man. And this is something that we have to take full initiative. Your body going down, they just got him. They done seized everything that he owned. And this is what I keep telling y'all. What's good in the north always gonna come to the light, man. The whole CMG going down. They got evidence on black.
Thank you, thank you.
Coinbase Learning Rewards launched in 2018. To start earning, just watch short
You
videos.
said say some jive, bro. Incognita. Hey, baby girl.
Get started today.
I'm really trying to look up this story to see if it's true.
The deaths are a result of a guard shortage and abysmal conditions inside the prison. These are just some of the photos taken from inside Mississippi State Penitentiary. The prison has a long history of violence and inadequate living conditions. In 2018, 16 inmates were killed in a prison riot. Recording artist Yogani is here with me now to break down the lawsuit and the conditions inside Mississippi's prison system. Thank you so much for joining us. So this has been a long-standing problem in Mississippi. I know we've got these recent deaths, but it's nothing new. You're not from Mississippi. Daisy's not from Mississippi. You're from Tennessee, right? So why participate in this lawsuit? Why was it important for you?
Well, Memphis is like, they say it's like a street over, like you cross a red light,
Right.
Cross one red light, you know, Mississippi. So it's really like, you know, I take it like our hometown, like our tri-state area. And it's just, you know, inhumane situations, you know. Knowing people that have been in prison before, you know, and just thinking everybody should be treated like a human is, you know,
I did 17 years in Parchment, and Yo Gotti and Jay-Z trying to sue state of Mississippi for the conditions of prison.
What sort of struck you?
When did this shit start? 5 years ago. Oh, this is a long time ago.
so it's really unsafe.
They ain't getting nowhere with that
This is not
shit.
new for Mississippi, though. There have been other lawsuits. The ACLU has sued families of people inside the prisons have sued. Why this method? Why do you think this is the way to go?
I think we just gotta do what we gotta do. We're in the process right now of creating a rally down there so voices can be heard. I mean, making sure that they feel us, that they feel that, you know, we're trying to do something about it, we're trying to make a change in it. So, like I said, we're in the process right now of setting up our own rally down there to make sure the words be heard.
Do you think, is it that politicians, lawmakers, they don't care?
I don't know what they should.
Because a huge part of the problem with the prison system down there that many have complained about is that it's a basic lack of funding. And it's, you know, there are public prisons, there are private prisons, they're just not putting enough money into the infrastructure, they're not paying the guards, so they don't have enough guards working, so people working there are scared for their lives. You have prisoners who are going in for nonviolent crimes and finding themselves in very violent situations. And it's been an ongoing issue. What do you want the governor to hear from you? Because I just heard the governor, he was asked about who was responsible for some of these deaths, and he said the prisoners were responsible for the deaths.
It's a responsibility. You know, see that responsibility. Everybody's still human. They can't live in inhumane situations. You know, some of the people in Zimmer, you gotta remember, some people may be criminals and some people.
If you take photos on the job and your camera roll looks like this, your business is not running as efficiently as it could. Let me show you how I do it.
There's some video that came out of Parchment Prison out in Mississippi. Now, this particular prison was actually built on the Parchment Plantation back in 1900. The irony, right? So you had a plantation that had black slaves on it, and you converted to put more black slaves on it. That land has never known a time without slavery. It's like this country's never known a time without slavery. When videos start coming out and pictures start coming out, when inmates was posting the conditions inside of Parchment Prison. Now, I want to show you a few things. I have video to show you, and also we'll look at some pictures of what's really going on inside that prison. But we have laws against this. This was you call cruel and unusual punishment. But let me go ahead and show you the evidence of this. We're going to talk about what's really going on in Parchment Prison.
Man, them folks took us out of 29, man. MSP 29, man. Put us in 32. Condemned. This motherfucker been condemned 10 years, man. Look at the flow, man. And they just up and put us in here, man. Look at the flow. All the water in the flow, man.
I did 9 years in Camp 32.
Man, on the thing. Ain't no running water, building, paint
Look at all them black moles, man. Ain't nobody got no manners. No manners, bro. We sitting on straight concrete, man. No man. Look at these guys. No man, no power. No power, none of that. Water everywhere. Water everywhere. Nowhere in the water, man. Nowhere in the water, period.
That's fucked up.
The pictures you're going to see, no human being should be enduring this. And understand, most people who are locked up with some drug offenses, and not saying that they were some big time drug dealer, sometimes they could be personal use of drugs. And we know that they target black men more than any other group to lock them up. So as you scroll down here, it says ceiling fan above the cell there. And the Mississippi State Penitentiary Parchment. But look at the rats. It's the inmates at the Mississippi State Penitentiary Department talking about the huge mice or rats that's in his prison. Now, rats carry all kinds of diseases. We know this. Now, the Mississippi Health Department inspection at the Mississippi State Penitentiary Department shows multi potato casserole left inside a kitchen oven. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things these people do. They cite health violations at the kitchen. I mean, it's just a mess.
Got uninvested cash? They can make you money. Sign up now for just $5 a month.
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing today. And number 3 is
I'm off tonight, enjoying this Friday. Here's a jive word from New Zealand. TGIF.
The Zone service started with this guy named Robert Weaver back in 2000 and way before I got here. But nowadays, I get up in the morning time around 7 o'clock. I get up out of my bed and around 8:15, I walk around and I call worship service in 15 minutes. Worship service in 15 minutes. Worship service, 15 minutes. And I walk around the zone and make sure everybody's prepared and get ready for worship. Around 8:30, we start worship service on our zone. From 8:30 to around 9:15, we sing songs and hymns to the Lord. Our guy get up and read scripture, and we preach the word of God from the Bible. A full service like you have in the free world. We have service on that zone. Men are clapping, men are praising God, men are happy. The spirit is moving on that zone. I mean, it is unreal to see men worship God with hands up high, praising God.
I had been here a couple months, and like you said, I was walking to visit one day, and this is before we had AC. So we had all the windows up to try to, let some of that hot air out. And as I was walking down the sidewalk, I could hear, the guys doing the worship service on Sunday, and I could hear them singing outside as I was walking. And I started to look around and look up and look at all these buildings, and, you're in the middle of a farm out here, so to have just this wonderful worship sound of these guys sitting in the building and praising God despite, however hot it was in there, everyone's sweating is just the strangest thing, and I don't think I'll ever forget that moment of, it was just a weird, peace, but I think one of the most pure church services we have is this.
Did you know this about Tesla Solar Carport?
This company is looking for homeowners to trial these brand new panels. Get this, at no cost. I know it sounds too good to be true, but hear me out. This service is part of a pilot program they're running with these super efficient panels that pull bulky panels out of the water. But not all areas qualify. Click the link below right now and enter your zip to see if your house is eligible. You can generate power, you can store power, and you can run independent from the grid. It only takes 30 seconds to see if your house is qualified for this. So click below and enter your zip code before the deadline passes. No strings attached.
Rapper Yo Gotti was killed earlier this year outside a Hickory Hill nightclub. WREG Shay Arthur has been in the courtroom all day and is live with the latest details. Shay, what have you learned?
Alex, I just stepped out of the courtroom just a short time ago. That testimony is still ongoing. It's really been going on this entire day in this highly anticipated trial that really so many, just not across Memphis, but across the country, have been following. Young Dolph, loved by so many here in the Bluff City. Security here at the court, very, very tight. There's extra police officers up inside there around the courtroom. You have to go through 2 metal detectors to actually get inside that courtroom. And the prosecution and the defense, they've been telling some very different stories about who was to blame here in the rapper's death.
Justin Johnson, one of the men accused of shooting young Dolph outside a Memphis cookie shop, sat stoic in court. Shelby County prosecutor Paul Hagerman painted the picture of the day of the crime for the jury, who was brought in from out of Shelby County. Hagerman says Johnson, an aspiring rapper known as Straight Drop, shot Dolph along with a second man, Cornelius Smith. He says the shooting comes after a $100,000 hit was ordered by Big Jook, who was high up at CMG, a rival record label and the older brother of rapper Yo Gotti. The contract hit was arranged by a third man, Hernandez Govan. Investigators say Govan would seek out new talent for CMG and also provided drugs to Smith. The jury was shown the moments young Dolph was killed outside Makita's Cookies. Hagerman said to Johnson and Smith, the shooting was, quote, just business.
What we watch up here is so quick. And we watch it and we call it violence. That's a man with a family and with a wife who's laying at the edge there in the yellow, riddled with bullets, dead. We watch that and we call it violence. For Cornelius Smith and for Justin Johnson, it was just business.
But Johnson's attorney says his client is innocent, saying there's 2 sides to every story, and Govan was using Johnson.
You like to exploit. I like to exploit young rappers. Like Mr. Johnson. He brings no skill to the table. You're going to hear testimony about how he intended. It was his sole mission to get a 30 to 60% piece of Mr. Johnson.
Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy was also present, speaking to us about the trial finally happening nearly 3 years after the shooting.
Great anticipation. I mean, this is the culmination of a lot of years' work, and there's been a lot of work done by our staff in the DA's office and also by law enforcement to bring the people responsible for this tragedy.
So I hear everybody talking about if you would go and make life insurance. I'm going to make it very simple. What the meaning is, a whole life.
Mr. Govan, I don't have to tell you how serious these charges are. I know I don't even have to go back through that. Okay? I also shouldn't have to remind you you're out on a bond, and the court has put you under some real serious or some real tight stipulations.
Yes, ma'am.
At this point, the court feels like you're playing fast and loose with the court and these stipulations. And I don't like that. You have filed a motion with your attorney asking me to review your bond conditions. And before we could ever do that, I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out doing interviews. Whether you're talking about this case or not, you're doing interviews. And the court doesn't like the fact that you feel free enough to do interviews. Because what could be happening is that you could be in jail. And it's a whole lot easier to supervise you there. But you've been given the opportunity to post a bond with bond conditions, and you're not doing those things you need to do. We're going to review those bond conditions on March the 1st. But let me make myself extremely clear to you that you are to not have any interviews with anybody for any reason.
His girlfriend cheated on him. Police billed her son. But mother said to him that she collapsed in his arms. On his 10th birthday, Quinn's mother died. He became an orphan. Quinn never revealed his secret to anyone for the next 8 years. But on his 18th birthday, he received a message that changed his life forever. "We know your secret, and we're coming for you," it said. Quinn clenched his fist in anger. "I should have never opened that damn book," he thought. What was Quinn's secret? And what book was he talking about? A week before his 18th birthday, Quinn had made a shocking discovery. He had entered his girlfriend's dorm room with a ring. He was going to propose, but the sight that awaited him turned his world upside down.
Now, the Young Dolph trial is currently going on now, and the prosecutors have released footage of Dolph's hitters following him into Makita's Cookies. You can see the man walking behind him as he enters the store, pretending to be interested in buying cookies. Now, when this clip plays, I want you to watch how the lady at the front peeped what's going on, and she didn't tell him anything. It appears that she knew what was about to happen.
No, sir. Have you ever eaten Charlie cookies, sir? No, sir. You ever talked to you about the cookies? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The chain around the snack. Is that the dealer check? Yes, sir. The one that saw the exhibit? Yes, sir. That's why it's on. Yes, sir.
Now you can see in the footage that the lady actually peeped the actual shooting, and she dipped out. Which I understand, she dipped out because people were busting guns, but it looks like she already seen them approaching, and she could have yelled and been like Dolph or something. Now let's check out footage of the court case currently going down.
How much money was this? $1,000. And had you agreed to do this hit? Yes, sir. Justin agreed to do this hit? Yes, sir. Y'all together. One was 10,000, how much were you allocated for you?
It's stupid to buy a new roof. A new roof can cost $10, $20, or even $30,000. What is that kind of cash right now? If your roof is over 12 years old and you live in a
This is exhibit 5. It's held over on the
Several power blocks away from his residence in Moss back home.
When P&B Rock's fiance, the mother of his daughter, told police after he was murdered right in front of her. And there's not been justice for P&B Rock. Her daily source for true crime starts right now. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Rakim Allen, better known as rapper P&B Rock, a hip-hop artist from Philadelphia, was shot and killed while having lunch with his fiancée here in Los Angeles. Today, True Crime News has exclusive, never-before-seen videos and interviews that shed new light on what really happened that day. A camera lens is trained on a restaurant parking lot and also inside. This footage recording in real time a major heist and murder about to go down. A spontaneous stop at an iconic Los Angeles restaurant collides with gold, green, and bullets, ending in carnage and one of the East Coast rising rap stars lying in a pool of blood.
He was a guest in our community and was gunned down by a cowardly act.
He was P&B Rock, a Philadelphia rapper with a loyal following and a taste for extravagance. His real name was Rakim Allen, but he fashioned his stage name after the streets where he grew up.
P&B Rock was paying homage to his neighborhood, and Astoria and Bayton was the areas of the streets in which he lived on. So he came up with the name P&B Rock.
Featured in major music magazines like Rolling Stone's 10 New Artists You Need to Know and Double XL's freshman class of 2017.
As an artist, he straddled the fence between R&B and rap, and that's something that a lot of people couldn't do.
R&B historian Tyrone Dubois says P&B was a master at meshing music genres. How significant was it that he came from the Philadelphia area?
P&B Rock's success was based upon the one thing that very few people were able to do: rise from the ashes and make the negativity in his life turn into something positive.
His own story was tightly linked to the energy of the streets, where he learned about violence early on.
His father passed away based on the gang war.
Was murdered, so he himself experienced death at an early age.
P&B Rock posted about his brother's death on X, sharing, "It ain't right," but he
push past the grief and pain through music.
He started off selling out his truck and then becoming observed.
B&B landed a record deal and launched hit songs like Issues, which showcases his love of expensive jewelry. As the money poured in, the rapper often showed off the rewards by posting to social media, mostly highlighting his love for expensive jewelry. A love that would ultimately cost him.
If you didn't get a six-figure check for your car accident, I'm sorry, but you should have used this instead. Insurance.
A crime alert in the news at 4:30. Your news leader obtaining shocking video of young people in a shootout during the middle of the day outside a Raleigh convenience store.
All of this going on a busy street that plenty of people travel. It's frightening video of a gun battle on Yale Road that could easily have been deadly. This surveillance video clearly shows what happened outside Yale Discount Tobacco convenience store on Yale Road, March 7th. Watch the group of teens walk up and approach a red car. Another teen walks to the store and tries to get inside. The doors are locked. Then someone in a black car across the parking lot pulls out a gun and starts firing. The other young people retreat behind the red car and then pull out weapons of their own, and the gunfight begins. Bullets flying across the parking lot and down the street as the group of young men fire and then run away. In a media statement, police say the same group had entered the store minutes earlier, armed with handguns, and threatened to assault a person after asking for that person's shoes. They left and came back a second time when this parking lot gun battle broke out. The owner of this convenience store says he's seen the kids before. They live in the area and actually come in the store all the time with guns. It's why he put up this sign saying, "No guns allowed." But he says the sign clearly didn't stop the young men from brandishing their weapons. And take a look. He says one of them was a young boy who appears to be about 10. As far as we know, no one seems to have been hit in the melee. Police say they also have made no arrest. And if you have any information on the Raleigh shooting, call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH. The all-new redesigned Halo Color 4 is stronger and more powerful than ever. It now uses dual...
Two breaking news stories tonight, starting with an update on a rapper gunned down on a highway 5 years ago. Dallas police now say Yella Beezy hired a hitman to kill his one-time friend turned rival, all three. Cole Sullivan is live at the county jail. These are well-known rappers in the Dallas hip-hop scene.
Chris, Yella Beezy's top single, it Put It On Me, it peaked at 56 on the Billboard Hot 100. Now, he's in the Dallas County Justice Complex behind me on a capital murder charge, accused of hiring a hitman to kill a fellow rapper. This all happened back in 2020. And just before
Yellow Beezy really got arrested.
Just south of Dallas Zoo, Dallas police arrested a 22-year-old and charged him with murder. Initially, that 22-year-old's in federal prison, convicted of gun charges, but now, 5 years later, they say he was the trigger man. Police say Yella Beezy was that's on me, hired that 22-year-old, and also cash for killing those three. A grand jury ended up indicting this weekend to East Conway tonight. The killing of Melvin Noble, known as those three, led to an outpouring of grief from his fans. Dozens be the result of a rap feud. We reached out to Yellow Beezy's legal team tonight and have not heard back. We're waiting to hear back on a bond amount for him as well. We'll bring you updates tomorrow on Daybreak.
All right, thank you, Cole. You know, we've been following Yellow Beezy's career, and this isn't his first run-in with the law. Go to WFA.
New information tonight, the arrest of Dallas-based rapper. His name is Yella Beezy. That's a stage name. The real name, Marquise Conway, and he's now being held on a $2 million bond. He was arrested yesterday and charged with allegations that he paid money to kill Melvin Noble. He was a rapper known as Mo3 locally, and that happened back in 2020. Mo3 was shot and killed by a gunman who chased him down I-35E. It was right near the Dallas Zoo. These are images from that day. Police arrested the gunman, that person, Kawan White, in 2021. New documents now show that Conway paid White to kill Mo3. Conditions of his bond include electronic monitoring and also home confinement, no drug or alcohol use, and he has to give up his passport and is not allowed to contact the victim's family in any way.
Man, I knew they were gonna get somebody for this shit.
As a business owner, I was struggling to keep up with the price increases for my rent. Cost
All that money, man. All that pussy.
This is an arrest. Years in the making. Rapper Marquise Conway, known as Yella Beezy, charged with capital murder in connection to the shooting death of Melvin Noble, a rival artist who went by Mo3. Eric Deep is a local hip-hop journalist and Mo3 fan who wrote this article in the Dallas Observer about the artist last year.
Storytelling, ferocious riots, everything on his music. It was like, I had a lot of
Mo3 songs like Everybody Not Your Friend, especially poignant because the rappers were once friends. But charging documents accuse Conway of hiring Kawan White to carry out the brutal murder on I-35 near Illinois Avenue in Dallas in November 2020.
For me, it's just like, it feels a little bittersweet, you know, like on the one hand, you do appreciate there is some justice coming to his death. On the other hand, it's like, now you lose another big name like Yellow Beezy.
Devin Maurice Brown also faces charges in Noble's murder. But Mo3 flips.
It's really just, if you're at any rap show, right, if you're at like a rap show, you guarantee like 8 times out of 10, the DJ is going to do a tribute to him. They're going to just say, one of three.
In Dallas, I'm Dean.
It's safe to land police investigating a deadly double shooting. This is on McDaniel Street. You know, the shots rang out in that area. Let's have a round stop.
Nita, how you doing? Push that like button. Show me some love.
We'll be updating you all as we work to learn more. We know that
Yella Beezy got locked up for Mo3 murder. That's fucked up. Now you looking stupid as fuck. Knew that shit. He done. All that money thrown down the drain. What? Rainwater tails on Yellow Beezy. Adam and Wack react.
Skinless entrees, bold Mexican flavor in minutes.
Please, don't pay for solar if you live in California. Did you know if you live in California?
Why did you rattle Yellow Beast? Quick, you want to come up in here and start, but you ratted. Did you rat? You told the people that it was gangsters outside. Yellow Beezy had gangsters outside waiting to do something to you.
In his church shoes?
No, you didn't tell that in court? That was you said that, right?
I didn't say that. But listen,
Who said that?
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Who said that?
He did. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Hold on, so you didn't say that?
Nah, I ain't say that.
So you said Yellow Beezy told the people.
And he testified and said I hit him first and ran, which was a lie.
He didn't say that.
I put that on my kids. I ain't no rapper can testify. But you know what I realized?
What happened?
All the biggest people in the world are rats. And y'all represent them. Y'all support them.
Him?
No, you.
What?
You flew across the world and interviewed Woody.
That ain't my problem.
Then
Atlanta is not across the world.
Then you got Charleston. Then you got if the guy can get off on this Dolph case, he'll be the biggest thing walking around America.
What's up with the first dude got arrested? The one they let out on the $90,000 bail, even though he had conspiracy to murder. The one who lost the daughter down there.
Yeah, his stud daughter got shot.
What's going on with him though? Like, cause we see that one boy still strong. He say he ain't doing no telling. He took his life.
He just got life, yeah.
He got life. The other one, the passenger, you would have thought he was a goddamn innocent bystander. He telling on everything.
How did you just go from him snitching on Yellow Beezy to you that quick?
Because I know how to control the narrative.
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem. You can't let him do that. That's why it's important to stay on topic.
You just messed it up. Running topics. You just messed it up.
No, I'm telling you.
Talk about what he want to talk about.
Him run a play on you.
No.
Yes.
Then I'm going to circle it right back around.
It's over with. That era is over. I apologize to you, my brother. When Mo 3 died, that was over. 7 different people on power platforms talking with Yellow, right? I ain't scared to say his name. They dropped the ball. Explain what you mean. You took the time out with 7 people, 7 different major platforms. Y'all talked about how y'all can help his career. Y'all should talk about the community. Man, you got 250, we'll put up $1,000 and we're gonna call a random number. Give out $1,000. Now we can help the real. Let's all get together and go pay somebody real. Let's all get together and push the next artist. We talking about why we ain't did this for his career. Yeah. That's dropping the ball. It's over with. That era is over. I apologize to you, my brother. When Mo 3 died, that was over. 7 different.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Snoop.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who's a bigger rapper, the most famous of the two, Jay-Z or Snoop Dogg, in your opinion?
Hello? Hello?
Your call will be answered in the order in which it was received.
That's a question. Who do you think is bigger, Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z? Can you answer that question? Which rapper do you think is bigger, Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z? What up, youngin'? Just chilling, man. I was trying to get into some chilling, but I done let this hour go by, so I'm gonna go off and come back on, and I'm gonna ask that question. Start it off.